All right, let's be honest. Leading virtual teams is difficult. It's certainly a different set of challenges than it is for leading in-person teams. And so while we're all getting a crash course on virtual leadership, whether we ask for it or not, I wanted to share 3 tips on how to most effectively lead in this virtual space. Now you might say, Matt, what do you know about this? Well, before I began a speaking career in leadership coaching, I led virtual teams in 5 different US locations for a Fortune 50 company. And what I learned, and what has been increasingly proven this year across industries, is that we can't take the in-person world and leadership strategies and shove it directly into virtual. There's going to be nuances. And how do we capitalize on those to be most effective? Well, first tip, increase the frequency of your outreach with your team, but decrease the duration. It's easy to get lost in a virtual world. As a leader, you might scoff at reaching out too much to your virtual team for fear of being overbearing or coming across authoritarian, but there's no substitute for human interaction. Your virtual team wants it. So increase the touch points or meetings that you might have so that they can get more human interaction in a virtual world. But the key becomes to make those bursts shorter in duration. Hour-long in-person meetings are easy to do, but when it comes to virtual meetings, research is showing us that 30 to 45 minutes becomes the max that we can handle staring at a screen. So the quick 5-minute check-in can go a long way to replicating the 5-minute walk to get coffee that you would have had in an in-person setting. Second tip, you need to increase the modes of communication, but decrease the ambiguity. Some messages will need to be delivered face-to-face, like a Zoom call with the video on. Others can suffice via email, and yes, you might need to be open to text messaging. As a virtual leader, all of those communication platforms are fair game, but when you use them, be certain you are clear about why or how you're going to use them. In my experience, it's about setting expectations for when these modes of communications might need to be used. Now, I used to tell my leaders that I would never text them past 5 p.m. because it's too easy in a virtual world to always get caught working. But there were occasionally going to be emergencies. And that's what text was used for on our team. If you needed something immediately, we all agreed that we would use text. And then our job in leadership is to simply abide by those principles. Last tip, you need to increase your boundaries and increase your empathy. Leading in a virtual world is tough, like I said. Clear boundaries are important and need to be set across every team member, both up and down the leadership chain. Going back to the text example, if I routinely texted my team after 5 p.m. when it wasn't an emergency, you're quickly going to lose credibility as their leader. Instead, we had to be very open and honest with each other about our boundaries and trust each other to honor them. That's why empathy is so important. We're all navigating this new normal. If it's a work from home virtual team, you have all the added responsibilities of work literally sitting in the same spot as your home life and your personal obligations. It's not the same as working in the office, and you need to recognize those moments. Empathy in leadership is now more important than ever. I hope these tips help you lead with impact and effectively, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all in this together.